when the Rebbe would walk in the street, there was something interesting that we would see. We know that in the Chovs, the Rebbe, when he came from the house to 770 or from 770 to his house, or he went to see his mother every day till Tov Shun Hey, when his mother passed away, he would always walk. Also on the weekdays, not only Shabbos, but he always walked. There was something interesting that we would see. We would see many times that when the Rebbe walked in the street, you see his mouth moving, which means he was like mumbling something, saying something. Now, we assumed that this must have been that he was saying Mishnayos Baal Peh. Because you know that there's a big, Friedrich Rebbe made a whole thing when he came to America that everybody should chazer Mishnayos Baal Peh. The truth is, it's not only b'negei Mishnayos Baal Peh, it's b'negei any type of Torah Baal Peh. As the Rebbe quotes the Sichas of the Friedrich Rebbe, I think from Tov Shin Beis, in Hayom Yom, for the date of Yud Aleph Teves, the Rebbe quotes the Friedrich Rebbe saying that, and I'll read it in English, man's life is dependent on the air around him. Without air, he cannot live, and the quality of life is dependent on the quality of the air. In an atmosphere of Torah mitzvahs, there is healthy life. In a godless environment, life is deceased, and one is constantly threatened with the possibility of being stricken with contagious diseases. The first general step in healing is to purify the atmosphere. Purification of the air is the task of every person familiar with Torah and Torah literature and is affected through the letters, the aces of Torah. When reciting words of Torah while in the store or walking in the street or riding in the subway, one cleans the air. Everyone knowledgeable in Torah must have some Torah memorized, Chumash, Tehillim, Mishnah, Tanya, etc., so that at all times and in all places he will be able to think and utter the holy letters of the Torah. Because the Friedrich Rebbe was masbid that the air in America is polluted, and as it says in other places, there's the air of kfira, of atheism, etc., etc., and we have to purify the air. So the Friedrich Rebbe said that we have to have Asiyas Baal Peh, we have to have by heart, we have to know words of Torah, so that wherever we are and we say these words, this purifies the air. Now, out of all the things that we know that the Friedrich Rebbe mentions here, Mishnayos was something very special, because when the Friedrich Rebbe started with the union of Chazering Baal Peh, they started the Chevre Mishnayos. They used to make a siyum of Mishnayos Baal Peh. Like I said, Chevre Mishnayos Baal Peh. They used to make a girdle, something to do with the Mishnayos Baal Peh. And the Rebbe, in quite a few letters in the first years, those years, talks about the Maila Mishnayos Baal Peh. Actually, in the Igros Kodesh of the Rebbe, the first volume, page Reish Lamed Hey, he quotes a few sichas of the Friedrich Rebbe where he talks about specifically about Mishnayos Baal Peh. For instance, he says that now is the time to purify the air, and purification of the air is through Asiyas HaTorah. So therefore, it's very important that everyone should learn Mishnayos Baal Peh by heart, and to chazer the Mishnah every place and every time that you are able to. And then he brings another sicha where the Friedrich Rebbe said that the Mishnah is that you chazer wherever you are, and whichever place you go to, this will shine and light up the connection between Yidden and Klal Yisrael and the Eibishter. And then he quotes other things about Mishnayos Baal Peh. So we see it at the main stress of Mishnayos Baal Peh. So therefore we assumed that when the Rebbe was walking in the street and he was saying something, we all assumed that he was saying Mishnayos Baal Peh. Now the truth is no one really knows what the Rebbe was saying. Maybe he was saying other things, maybe Tanya Baal Peh, maybe other things, but it would make sense that he was saying Mishnayos Baal Peh based on all the things that we see in all the sources.